The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
Hi, this is retired Army Captain Dr. Tommy O'Brien. For 25 years, I devoted my practice and military career to not only medically treating my patients, I have educated and guided them to a healthier lifestyle which improves the quality of their lives. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com. That's drtommyo.com. As an osteopathic medical physician, I am able to offer more than one would expect from an MD. I apply hands-on manipulation in concert with medical treatments to not only treat the illness, but the effects as well. Additional services I provide include medical weight loss and medical marijuana. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com for an immediate appointment. If you don't have medical insurance, or if your medical deductibles have not been reached or are very high, I offer an easily affordable membership program which allows you unlimited visits for a small monthly premium. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com. drtommyo.com, or call 631-980-8200. That's 631-980-8200. And let's put you on the track to a better health and better healthcare at an affordable rate. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show. I am your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. The Ask Dr. Tommy O Show can be heard every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on 103.9 Long Island News Radio. I offer a very affordable concierge practice which allows you access to the quality care you really deserve. With no rush office visits, you and I can have the time to discuss your healthcare needs. As your primary care physician, it is important for me to have a baseline knowledge of your health. This way, when you come to my office not feeling well, knowing your history allows me to properly diagnose and treat your illness. Call my office today and schedule history and physical. If you wait, it may be too late. To my military family, I got your six. To my Masonic brothers, the light is bright. Today's show, a patient's testimonial. To protect my patient's identity, I will introduce her as Miss K. Miss K comes from a family of entertainers. Her father was in a famous 1960s band. His band had several hits. Due to her parents' strong family values, Miss K was able to avoid the pitfalls normally associated with entertainers, and their children, with the alcoholism and the drugs and everything associated with getting in trouble with the law. I mean, not all entertainers' children go through this, but we see this a lot in entertainment in general. I mean, just look at page 6 in the news. There's always something going on. Which is, this is phenomenal. I mean, it's just unheard of, but it happens. And right now we have a patient, Miss K, who avoided those pitfalls. So I'd like to introduce Miss K. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show.
Hi, welcome. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Yes, it's our pleasure. So this is important now. I want to go over our history, and then the relationship we developed and what you do for hobbies and your entertainment, and also that your background, your musical background as well. The genes were passed on from dad to daughter. All right, so I have a quick little announcement. Something was very important that happened just a couple days ago, so I'd like to wish Mom a happy birthday.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Right? Mom had a birthday just a few days ago.
Happy birthday, Mom, if you're listening.
That's it.
Thank you.
Well, it's important. We always say, families that pray together, stay together, play together, stay together. It's important. And some of the knowledge that your father had was passed on to you. I remember you sent me a video of you playing the drums.
Yes, I do play the drums. My dad taught me how to play the drums.
That's pretty exciting. I mean, I wish I love the beat. I'm a bass head, so I love the bass and the drum. You know what I mean? I like that pulse. You need that pulse, and the body has a pulse.
Yes.
And people don't realize that organically our bodies have a pulse. I mean, the heart rate is loved up. So built innate into our nature is a pulse. We have energy lines, right? All right, so let's talk about our relationship and how we met.
So I wasn't feeling good, and I came to visit you, and I tested positive for COVID about maybe over a year ago. And it was a crazy variant, and basically you were just there for me, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. You really helped me get through it, because it's not just a physical battle, it's also emotional and mental and spiritual, and you just guided me through the entirety of the fight, and I will forever appreciate you for that, because you really helped me.
Well, that's why I always say my patients are family, and a lot of people were struggling with this, especially when we went into the Delta variant. The first one, we had no clue of what was going on, but then when we realized a year and a half ago, the Delta variant was here, and that was extremely aggressive.
For sure.
And you had symptoms for about 2 months now, right?
Yeah.
It was about 2 months. It was to the point where Dad had to come in, and so we sat down as a family with your permission, because you're an adult, and with HIPAA, that you gave permission, and you said Dad can come in to so he can have an understanding and speak with Mom, so he can understand what you were going through. And we had a nice conversation. And as soon as he walked through the door, when I saw him, and because the music is on the radio, and I'm like, no way, you got to be kidding me! This is crazy here, It's exciting, So and we had a nice conversation, and and then he understood. He says, okay, this is what needs to be done, and everything's going to be okay. And that's what I said to you. Things are going to be okay. Let's work through this together as a family. This is how family medicine is. So. And here we are today, a year and a half later.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful experience, like having you there for me. And yeah, my dad loves you. My family loves you. I don't know how we got to this point, but I love it.
Yeah, well, again,
you're amazing.
Well, that's what, like I said, family medicine versus a specialist. The specialist, I only focus on the knee. I only focus on the kidney. I only focus on this particular organ system, because that's what we say in medicine. It's an organ system or system. As a family practitioner, it's a holistic approach, the mind, body, soul, or the mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
And this is what that was about. It was this spiritual nature. Okay, I can give you medications, make you feel good, but we also needed to have mental clarity, because we were struggling. This was something new that you didn't understand, so we had to work together as a team. All right, so we have that. So let's talk about your, you said you're an entertainer like Dad, and let's talk about your entertainment.
Well, my dad has inspired me tremendously to just pursue my musical passions. So I love to play the drums, and I love to sing and write music as a hobby, and I love to dance, and I'm a professional dancer and fitness instructor, and I'm super into the health and wellness community. And it's also why I appreciate you, because you're a doctor, but it's not just about like medicine, like you said, but it's like about everything, just mental and just community. And so I love and appreciate that about you.
That's good. Well, again, you're taking a holistic approach.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
The mind, body, spirit connection, spirituality. Okay. And that is encompassing all. Okay. Because being, coming from a spiritual family, you understand, what we're talking. You need that spiritual connection there. So you also, with entertainment, you said you get into writing, right? You like to write. And poetry and some things that you do.
I love music. I love to sing. I love melodies. I love dancing. I feel like I love dancing because I feel like what makes me a good dancer is the rhythm that I've learned from playing the drums. But it's just more of like I feel like more free, and I love expressing myself through my body movement. I also love yoga, and I love being physically active and just taking care of my body and eating healthy. And I've been gluten-free for 2 years now, and I've never felt better.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we find the people have allergies, gluten allergies, and if you do, and you're having a lot of GI side effects, that means your immune system is constantly on high alert there, and that's going to drain you both, physically and through your immune system. That's why it's all the systems are connected. So mentally, eventually, you're going to start to feel a drain, even like a chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yes.
Just being drained. It's, just like having a vampire just sucking your life energy out of you. All right, so we have about a minute left, and then what we'll do is we'll talk about, continue with your passion, but we'll talk about also inspiring other women to want to better themselves through entertainment, through dance, through rhythms and fitness and eating healthy.
Beautiful.
All right, so
I'm excited.
Yeah, I know this is. It's where it's. We need to encourage each other to be better. Always want to be better, okay? Because there's too much out there in the community that's taking that life energy away from us. So we need to instill that back into our youth.
Yes.
All right, so we have about 25 seconds. So as I say, come and join my practice. Let me help you lead a happier and healthier life. To learn more about my practice, go to drtomio.com. That's drtomio.com. Or if you prefer to stop by my office, it's located at 250 Patchogue Yaphank Road, Suite 16, East Patchogue, New York. Or give me a call. That's 631-980-8200. That's 631-980-8200. Welcome back to the Dr. Tommy O Show. I am your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. Today's topic, a patient's testimonial. I'm here with Miss Kay.
Good morning.
Yes, we're here for part 2. In part 1, we were discussing your background, your family, being, a holistic, spiritual family, and how your parents encourage you to live a happy and healthy life.
Yes.
Again, through your entertainment and your God-given abilities for dance and singing and playing the drums. How many girls out there play the drums? It's just, there are. If you see YouTube now, you're seeing a lot more, girls and women playing the drums. It's
so
just
cool.
Yeah, it's just one of those, instruments that you just typically don't get into. I don't know why. Maybe there's not enough, because I guess maybe exposure. You just don't see enough women playing the drums, and so you're like, oh, that's just not for me. You look for role models.
Yeah.
That might be part of it. I don't know, because that's not my discipline. But anyway, so, you came to see me about a year and a half ago, give or take, and had COVID-19. You were under my care for about 2 months just for that particular issue. We addressed it. There was a lot of issues that you went through, the physical and psychological component.
Yes, for sure.
Yep, and then we worked through it together.
Yeah, you've really helped me pull through. It was really intense and rough, but I don't think I would have been able to do it without you, honestly.
No.
You kept me going.
Yeah, well, that's why it's, like I said, I keep saying it's a holistic approach. You really, as a family practitioner, I'm looking at you, I look at you, I listen to you, and I feel you both physically and emotionally. That's important, and that is missing today. We need to have that. As a family physician, when you go to your doctor, their back, their heads are down, at the key, in the keyboard as they're pecking away, typing in their notes, or their backs to you. Okay, and a lot of patients, when they come to me, they say, well, I look at you, I'm listening, and then I take my notes after, and I give you a real exam. It's not 5 minutes. A history and physical is 60 minutes. By the time we're done, it's an hour later.
Yeah. Not
5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you came in, gave you a nice thorough exam, we took your time, I listened to you, and you opened up, and that's how I know all this information about you.
Well, yeah, you made me feel really comfortable, and I appreciate you for just putting your all into essentially what you do, because for me, I just felt really comfortable, and you were there for me and super optimistic. Mm-hmm. So forever grateful.
All right, so let's talk about aspiring other young women like yourself. What would you offer them, advice?
For other young women, I would say listen to your intuition. We all have it, but I feel like women are just we have a cyclical nature, and I think that we should really be in tune with our bodies and our intuition and the way that we feel, and just do what we feel like we're most in alignment with, whether it's if someone's, people you're around or things that you're doing. Definitely just listen to your body. If it needs rest or if it needs this food today, it's okay to sometimes eat more carbs than other times. I think that there's no one set structured way. I think that we're all beautiful and unique, and we have to honor that and honor our bodies. And yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's not it's not cookie cutter. If you have a cookie cutter, if you're a professional and you're using a cookie cutter approach, something's wrong, right? I look at each person. You're independent. I mean, we're all the same, but we're all different also. Yeah. So you need to know your audience, okay? And when you're speaking to your audience or you're addressing your audience, for me, I have to. It sounds and looks like it's the same, but it's not. Every individual is different. We respond differently to stimuli. Everyone has different coping mechanisms, and it's based on experience. And so how you're going to respond to certain things is going to be different, okay? Yeah. And you have to understand an individual. So when I'm giving them good or bad news, how I know they're going to respond. Yes. And then address that, okay? So, I'm all for girl power, being a superwoman. That's important because, you want to, women can be just successful or even more successful than men. There's nothing wrong with that. I grew up in a household where everyone was an alpha, so thank God that we weren't all going for the same slice within the pie, because then we'd be fighting. So everyone was unique, and they were going after their own slice, and we all helped each other, encourage. I mean, my mom, was alpha female, my sister's an alpha female, and we all helped each other to be successful in our respective professions. And that's important for young women. We're going to say young women because we're talking about women, but young individuals in general, both boys and girls, because the information out there is, I don't know what's being taught in schools now. We're living in a dangerous time where our young youth are being groomed, and that's terrible. That's our parents' responsibility to educate and teach our children and the schools. I come from a family of educators. My father was assistant president at NASA. My grandma was vice president at NASA. My mom taught at NASA. My grandfather taught at NASA. So strong educational values, but your job is to teach your subject, not to get into social justice. I'm sorry, that's not what this is about. That's the parent's role, and the parent has to be involved in that child's life. Yeah. So, diet, nutrition, and exercise. What do you do?
Well, me personally, I don't eat gluten, I don't drink alcohol, and I try to keep dairy to a minimum, although it is hard because I'm a chocolate addict.
Yeah.
But when I have I love coffee, so I'll have milk alternatives. I'll use oat milk or almond milk or coconut milk, but oat milk's my favorite. Mm-hmm. So I try to keep the dairy to a minimum just because it just has my skin glowing and clearer. I notice a difference. And then with the gluten, I wasn't diagnosed with celiac, but I noticed I get inflammation when I do consume it. Mm-hmm. So it was hard at first. I would be like, oh, I kind of want this piece of pizza, whatever. But then it wasn't worth how I felt after. So I just noticed I feel more in tune with my body after just completely eliminating gluten from my diet. And now I'm proud of myself. It's been over 2 years. So if you feel like you have chronic fatigue or any inflammation, I definitely recommend trying to go gluten-free for maybe 2 weeks and see how you feel after. That would be my recommendation because it's worked immaculate for me.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. And drink more water.
Yes, for sure, 100%.
Definitely, we do not drink enough water. Women, 10 cups of water a day, and it's recommended. And for men, 15 cups.
Wow.
So probably the average person is maybe 3 cups. And I'm guilty of that. When I'm at the gym, I drink a lot of water. So at minimum 3 days a week, I'm over the 15, or at least at 15. Well, what about the other remaining 4 days? Well, I'm guilty. I'm less, because it's hard. You try to squeeze it in. So we got about a minute and a half left, and you said you like to work out. You're in the gym. Okay, how many days a week do you go to the gym?
Well, not as much as I should, but sometimes I feel like going to the gym can almost feel like a chore. So I like to switch it up. I just like to be active and break a sweat. So maybe one day I'll go to the gym, then I'll go for a run the next day, or I'll take a yoga class or a Pilates class, or I'll just dance in my backyard in the nature because it's beautiful. Just anything just to get your heart pumping and blood flowing and all that.
Right. That's perfect. That's important. That you need the aerobics. Now I'm guilty of that because I'm a meathead where I go to the gym. Gym rat. Now I'm lifting the weights and not enough aerobics. I'm guilty of that. But I like to bike ride, especially over the summer.
Yes.
I'll put air in the tires and I'm riding around my community.
So fun.
It's good. So we need that aerobics because the heart is a muscle and we need to train that heart become more efficient.
Love it.
All right, so we have about 35 seconds left on the clock, and I want to thank Miss Kay for being here. It was important that the community gets to hear a testimonial of their experience. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Well, thank you so much for you being just you. I really love and appreciate you, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, again, happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you.
That's it.
She's going to be so excited to hear that.
Yep. All
You're
right,
amazing.
so we have 10 seconds, and we're going to wrap this up. To learn more about my practice, go to drtommyo.com. That's drtommyo.com, or call my office at 631-980-8200.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.